board will be settling down soon. You see just there, coming in the dark suit. That's Kevin Cook. He's the acting managing director. He's the man who has the job to look over the balance sheet. And just taking his seat there is club chairman Bob Doran. Alan Long now taking the microphone.
Right. What I'm going to do is, as I said to you before, you know what the plan is, so I'm going to introduce the chairman, and then the chairman's going to do his thing. So without further ado, Mr. Chairman, you're on.
To change them. Thanks everybody for coming tonight. It's absolutely wonderful to see so many of you here this evening to welcome our new management team. What we intend to do this evening is next is to introduce our two new managers, and we will have a 45-minute question and answer session with the boys, and then we'll have a 15-minute break. And then if anybody so desires, they can have a question and answer with any of us on the board. So that's the running order for tonight. So without further ado, can I introduce Danny and Nikki Cowley? So the floor is open to you, the supporters, this evening to speak to Danny and Nikki, and any questions you might have, just put them to the boys. Thank you very much.
Right then, who gets first go? Smithy! I'm going to be fit by the end of the night, aren't I?
You could do with it. Good evening, lads. Welcome to Sincil Bank. Great to see you, and well done to the board for getting you here as well. Can you tell me, please, you've obviously been very successful in the last few years. What was the main reason for you coming to Lincoln City? Because you must have had interest from other clubs, I would have thought.
Well, firstly, if I could just thank everyone for coming. Massively overwhelmed by the fact you've all given up your Friday night to come and speak to us, so thanks for that. When the Lincoln City job became available, for us it's a massive football club. It's got huge potential. For us, when we look at football clubs, it's always about trying to add value, and we feel that we can really add value to this club. It hasn't had as much success as it should have done in recent years, and we enjoy winning. We expect to win, and we'll be looking to try to bring a winning culture to the club, and try to have lots of success and lots of fun.
Thanks, well said. That's what I want to hear.
Right. That's a good start. Who's up next, Mr. Bank?
Welcome, guys. We were trying to think of a welcome for you. We thought of singing "What's It Like to See a Crowd," but we thought clearly one of your first jobs will be to sort out the players that are here now. Without naming any plans or anything you can reveal to us?
Well, we've spent the last 48 hours trying to do an audit, sort of a review of the club, looking at the players. We managed to see Lincoln play 6 times last year, about one season. With probably, I think you said you were 18th of November, you've got through to now, haven't you? 14th of November.
Try me at home Monday.
No, so we're starting to look through the DVDs. It's important for us if we're going to make intelligent decisions that we've got the information in front of us. There's some good players at the club, which is great. Like you said, we've got some difficult decisions to make. We'll try to make the right ones, and we're going to use this period really to do a review of the club. Make sure we have a really good look at the players. We have a good look at the player environment, Hoping to meet all the players on Monday, which I think will be very important for us. It's always nice to meet turn the eye and learn about them as people. For me, when I try to sign players, for me, I trust it's people that I sign. I always think that if you can get the right characters in the dressing room, if you can get enough winners together, enough like-minded people, then you can achieve success. And that's what we'll be looking to do.
Bobsy. Good evening, gentlemen of the club. After your recent playoff defeat, and now that you're in charge of Lincoln City Football Club, do you hate Grimsby?
I've certainly seen enough of Grimsby. I'm aware of the rivalry. I've had a look at the game actually. We actually watched the game, the 1-1 draw earlier in the season, and I'm aware of the rivalry, and obviously they've got a big game this weekend, but personally I'm hoping to see them next year.
Right, let's have somebody down this end. So don't all look at me politely, please. I'll head down here, someone.
Bearing in mind the recent success of Claudio Ranieri, who turned a load of rejects and has-beens into a great team, have you got some of that potential?
Let's hope so. No, Leicester for me, it's been brilliant. It's been a great story. Everybody in football hope. What they've done has been amazing. I don't think anyone expected them to achieve the success that they have, and it just shows you that there's many ways to be successful. I think football, it's a world that's governed by finance, and up until Leicester, it was only the rich clubs that have been successful. But Leicester have proven, and maybe to a lesser degree, Braintree Town this year, that it's not all about finance. It's about getting the right group together. It's about working hard. But for me, it's about getting team-orientated players, and we've got clear strategy. It'd be about trying to create a winning culture at the club. I think that's so important. We've got a style of football that we will look to use, and we will try to work very, very hard to be successful. The least that you people deserve is our blood, sweat, and tears. And you've got my word, and Mickey and I will give you that and more.
Welcome to the pulpit once again. Maybe a silly question, but is there any players from Braintree that you're thinking of maybe in this way?
Yeah, we had Sean Marks and Danny Sparks. Yeah, so Marks and Sparks. Yeah, certainly commentator's dream. But for us, we're respectful of the fact that Braintree, we all had disappointment on Sunday. And with obviously us leaving during the week, so yeah, I'm going to do my best to dodge that question. But I have to say this: fantastic players. It's a privilege to work with them. Really hard-working, committed, team-orientated players. I certainly enjoyed working with them last year. I think that there may be one or two that could help us. Before we make any decisions about who we bring in, it's important that we finish this review, and we're very early in the process of that. So we need to have a real clear idea of what we've got here, and once we're completely clear of that, then we'll be able to decide who are the right players to complement what we've already got. But we will need to improve the squad. There's some good players here. There's no doubt we feel that we could add value to those players and maybe get 5-10% more out of them. But for the time being, we'll look to keep working hard and have a clear idea of what we've got, and then we'll try to bring some players in that will allow us to be successful.
Just briefly, the previous manager did a lot in the community, and just wanted to ask if you're the same sort of thing like that, of keeping the community, bringing the football club back into the community. I think it's massive here.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. For me, you guys as supporters and the local community of the football club. The success that we want to have, we can't achieve on our own. It's going to require all of us. We're all a part of that, you know, and it's so important to get you guys on board because, and for me tonight, the most important message that I can get across to you is how valued you are to us. And you know, today's the beginning of a journey. It's a journey that we look forward to. We expect our players to give back. You know, we know that you guys give a lot to the players, so it's very important that they give back to you and to the local community. I don't know any organisation in the world that could be successful when their employees only work 2 hours. As will be, you know, they'll be working a lot harder than that, I can promise you. We have high expectations of ourselves in terms of work ethic. We'll be working long hours to make sure that we do the detail necessary to be successful on a Saturday. We'll be expecting the same for the players, whether that's on the training pitch, whether it's in the gym, analysis work, or whether it's in the local community, giving back to local schools and the local football clubs. But no, we'll have high expectations of the players. We expect them to buy in, and if they do, then they'll have a really enjoyable ride.
That's music to my ears. That's the word from our sponsors from Yorkshire.
We're buzzing that you're here, guys. We're really pleased to see you tonight. Just a quick question, maybe to Nick, about.
Didn't ask me to get away.
In my time following you, I've never actually duo at the bank, so I'm just curious on how your roles will overlap, or will you be doing things differently? Maybe you can share. You know, will you be doing things separately or together?
No, we work as a team. We divide up responsibilities equally, and you know, we've both got different skill sets, and we try and work with each other. And after working with each other for a long time, we feel that we know how to do that to get success. Like Danny's mentioned already, you need to be a team, and without each other, to be honest with you. And you know, that would be a team that we look to continue for a long time.
It's got ain't working. Some things don't change at Sincil Bank, do they? Shout it out.
Hi. Chris Boyce is doing a real good job of bringing some team players into this club. And I was just wondering, of the players we've got here, how you would get the extra 10, 15%, 20% out of those players. What's your techniques?
Well, like Danny said, at the moment we're just looking at the performances from last season. I think it's important we do that and try and see the very best of the players on their best days, but also try and see the worst of them. And then once we're in a position where we know the players' characters, we've met the players and spoken to them, I think that's when we can put our model in place. We think we've got a formula for success. We've had that in the past, and you know, we like to bring that. If we can get our training program correct, and you know, try to improve and enhance every individual, then hopefully, as a collective, you'll see improvement.
I think for us, we work very hard for the players to try and improve the players technically, tactically, physically, mentally. Looking at the season from, you know, and I have to say this, that we've only seen limited amounts. I'm always respectful when you've only seen limited amounts, but you've only got a certain amount of the picture. I can promise you by the time pre-season starts, we'll have seen the whole season. You know, we've got all 46 DVDs, we'll watch every single one. That's what we do. That's important for us. You know, we have to have that information. Already there's certain correlations and patterns from what we've seen. We do quite a lot. So we've spent a lot of time, and I have to say, John at the Lincolnshire Echo is helping us with this. But we've spent a lot of time putting all the stats together and see some patterns and correlations. Last year, Lincoln only kept 7 clean sheets in 46 games. We kept 25 last year at Lincolnshire. So certainly, I think defensively we can do some work. The team conceded 2 many goals from set pieces is an early observation. So certainly there's some work that we can do to try to tweak that. We will play a style of football that will be high energy. you know, we try to play with real intensity. We counter press, so we look to, you know, if we give the ball away, we look to be very aggressive and try to win the ball back very quickly. And we try to play attacking football. We play football that hopefully will inspire people to firstly come, and then we'll get people off their seats. That's what we're trying to do. The next few days are important for us because what we'll need to do is we need to learn about the DNA of the city. We need to know about the DNA of the club, because once we know about that, then we'll be able to sign the right players to suit the DNA. And I think that you know, that relationship is so important. You know, you've got to get the right players for the club, and that's what we're really looking to do. But I do think we can improve and add value. And I'm saying Chris has done a really good job here. He's a real club man. We really respect that, and we thank him for how he's left the club, because it's given us a foundation to be able to move forward.
Yeah, once again, gentlemen, many Sincil Bank, thank you for coming. Just on a personal basis, the last manager we had from your area didn't seem to give the club what I personally consider to be the dedication it deserves. If you intend to relocate to live in Lincoln, or are you doing the journey of Essex?
No, the club have been, yeah, no, the club have been very good, so we'll be staying in Lincoln. For us, obviously, it's it's a big commitment for us, you know, to come out of teaching. I've been in for 15 years and Nicky 12 years. So it's a big commitment for us, but this is a great opportunity. It's an opportunity for full-time football. It's an opportunity for us to live our dream. And it's an opportunity that we expect to take. And we'll be working very, very hard to make it happen.
Also, I think it's important to add that me and Danny are very family-oriented people. I mean, you'll see my mum and dad at every game this season. You know, no matter where that match is, they'll be there. And both our wives and children will be coming and spend some time in Lincoln. And also family straight into this environment straight away, because from the people we've met already, we can tell that family values is very important here. And that's really important to us as well. So I think we're very like-minded.
Welcome to Lincoln. How would it take to make your mind up to come?
5 minutes. No, I have to say, I think it's Alex Ferguson's old adage that it's about the people that you work for, and I have to say I've been so impressed with the people, the board of directors. I had an opportunity to speak to Clive Nates and what he had to say, and it's you know, for us, they sold the club, and you know, I don't think this club needs to be sold. I look at it as a football league club. You know, I've only got to look around and see how many people care so greatly about it. You wouldn't give it up your Friday night if you didn't have a real passion and a love for this club, and that's so important because we could use that. And you know, as I said, it's about creating a winning culture. This football club hasn't won enough games in recent years. It's a club that deserves success, and it's a club that should have success, and it's a club that will work very hard to achieve that success.
Right, let's head down this way then. Who have we got? Duncan's not got a question. Blimey. You're very lucky. Oh, then all the way down to the toilet. Welcome to the club.
The question around the youth system, you know, how are we going to use youth players? Is that what you do with a break stream? Have you got any connections with the Championship clubs? Is there anything you can share as well?
Yeah, obviously the academy is very important to us. We've spoken a great deal with Roger already. I know it's a fantastic setup here. Being teachers, we're used to working with young people. Our students like working with young people, and we certainly, we'll look to try to create a program and a pathway for the young players at this football club. And I know, as I said, there's already a fantastic provision here already. It's very important to us. We'll be on Monday and have a good conversation with them with regards to what already is happening. We've got a clear vision ourselves on how young players should be developed, and we certainly look forward to working closely with them. It's so important that these young people, they're not all going to unfortunately make the Lincoln City first team. So it's very important that we look after them as young people, and if we can't make them into it, it's very important we give them the skill set and life skills to be able to be successful in other areas of life. So no, we'll be working hard with the academy. Certainly, for the longevity of any football club. If you want to achieve sustained success, if you can develop your own players, that's very, very important. And so we'll be working hard with the guys to make that happen.
Who's next?
Right. Welcome. What I'd like to say to you was that to win away as much as it should do, and also when they play off the field, will you please put that right?
Which half?
Just from the research we've done so far, obviously there's been an issue with conceding goals away from home. I think that's ultimately, 43 were conceded away from home last season, which is something that we're trying to improve upon. I think, like Danny mentioned earlier on, set pieces was a real issue. I think in the first 20 games, there was something like nearly half the goals were conceded. The first 20 goals conceded, there's something like nearly half the goals were conceded from set plays, by free kicks and corners. And I think we've looked to try and add some value to that in terms of organisation and definitely matchups. At Braintree, we were a very effective team last year, and let's be honest, in a football match, a lot of the time, again, you're not going to have the ball. I think players have the ball for about a minute or just over a minute in the game, so what they're doing off the ball is absolutely crucial. And what we're saying is actually having facilities like this, and we're both coaches. We're very enthusiastic about working on the training pitch on a day-to-day basis, developing young players and working with our senior players, and also getting our senior players to buy into improving our younger players, which I think is important. And to have the facility outside and the training pitch up the road, that's like winning the lottery for me. Last season at Braintree, at times we had to train a third of the pitch we sharing with our youth team, and then we had a training pitch at the back of the stadium as well. You know that Braintree's pitch. So, we need to make the most of these facilities and these resources to improve upon what's happened previously. And, that'd be something we need to do.
Thank you. Oops. I was asked outside on the radio how many new players we probably need to create a successful team for next season. You obviously watched a few games in the flesh, and you've got as far as November with the videos. I must warn you, it's going to get worse. Have you got any ideas at the moment how many decent players you envisage coming into the club?
At this stage in the process, we're trying to work very hard to do an audit. We will look to freshen the group up. I think we have to be respectful of the group that played here last year. We know that in the last 12 games, the club didn't win as many games as they would have liked. That needs to be addressed, there's no doubt about that. I want to speak to the players. For me, it's very important, as I said, you know, to me, they're not players, they're people. And I need to look in their eyes and we need to see their motivation, we need to listen to their views. Because what we will try to do, we will try to piece together the season. Now, for us, it's a story, and at the moment, we've only got about a quarter of the story. So we can then gain a clear idea of why. And for me, Braintree Town was successful last year. And if you know why, then you can replicate success. Likewise, if we can work out why achieve as much as they would have liked, then we can improve that. And so that's what we're looking to do. We will look to their players. They have to be the right players. We will improve the players. We will add value to the group. But if you the easier it is. There's no doubt about that. You know, and the team is about 70 to 80% player. It certainly helps. The rest is up to us to make sure that, you know, it's combinations, making sure you've got the right combinations of players, making sure you've got players that can complement each other, and make sure that you've got players that can fit into your style. Now, pragmatic. If you're Barcelona or Bayern Munich, one style, and it can be an idealistic style of expansive open football, because you can sign the best players in the world and you can sign the best players to suit that system. If you're not Barcelona or Bayern Munich, then you have to be a little bit adaptable, and at times you have to be pragmatic. And you know, Nicky alluded to earlier, I think the gentleman suggested about the away form. You know, if you look back at Concord Rangers and at Braintree, we've always had really good success on the road. You know, on the road last year, we beat Wrexham, we beat Tranmere, we drew with Cheltenham, we beat Grimsby twice. So we there's an issue between branches. But no, so no, we have a clear strategy away from home. That's different from our home strategy. And the first thing we did half the goals that we did last year. I think it was 43 goals last year away from home. In 23 league games is too many. It's too many, because how many games of football do you win 3-2? Not that many. So no, away from home we play an attack, we build a defence behind our attack. So we always have a defence behind our attack. So that if we attack and the attack breaks down, we have a defence behind it, and we have players balancing off, and that allows you. I think that gives your attacking players confidence and a bit of freedom to go and play. Safety players behind them, then that does give them a little bit more licence. And, as I said, it's a strategy that's worked for us in the past and it's in the future.
That's it, show right here.
Hello guys, welcome to the club. Good to see you. Could I just ask you, please, what level did you play? What position?
I was a centre midfielder. I used to be quite a talented player when I was younger, then got into a workhorse. Like this idea of sort of running around for each other and trying to win the ball. It seemed to work, so I carried on doing that. I played about 350 games for Concord Rangers, so yeah, we progressed from right up to the Conference South. So yeah, no, that's where I played most of my football career. You know, I spent 8 seasons there. Business was as a player coach with Danny. I started as a player manager. Unfortunately, my football ended as a 29-year-old, and just didn't see it coming really. Unfortunately, I had an injury that I had a number of operations with and wasn't able to. So I played most of my football at Hornchurch, and that was a Conference South level.
early in my career, there wasn't a confidence, so it would have been step 2, but that would have been the highest level of football that I played. Probably played about, was very lucky in my early career, probably played about 400, 500 games up to being about 29, and my body gave up for me, unfortunately. But what that allowed me to do is that's obviously allowed me to fast track my management career, and I managed to talk Nicky, Concord Rangers in step 5 when he was a step 2 player. So he scored 27 goals in our first year. We got us out of the senior league, and he was a key player for us all the way through until his body gave up on him. He says I run into the ground.
I'd still be happy playing if I didn't make Danny. Danny's got explosive though, he persuaded me to join him, but no, I've got to be honest, the best part of my career was playing under Dan. It's hard for me to say, he's my brother, but I don't like to give him credit at times, but it's very true. I played under Scott. He made us all want to try very hard for him, and he's got a talent in that respect.
Right, open our head that way. I'll do more to it and then I'll come to you.
You've mentioned working to a model and a process a few times now. Is it something that you guys have just developed yourselves, or is it a common model that you've seen other clubs use that you're trying to implement, or is it a secret that you just want to keep to yourselves? I've just read it a couple of times in pieces.
Yeah, no, I think for us, obviously, we're lucky to have degrees in physical education and sport, which, as a consequence, has allowed us to study many different sports. Sometimes I get disappointed with football because I think it's so far behind other sports. And for us, we try to take ideas from all different areas. I look at Clive Woodward and the business model that he put in place for England rugby when England won the 2003 World Cup. And you look at things, he talks about critical non-essentials, about all these things that people perceive to be non-essential but actually critical to the successful winning team. And that's something that we use. Brailsford and cycling and the marginal gain. We all know football, the difference between success and failure can be minimal. So if you want to get on the right side of success, you've got to look after what we call the 1%. Sense that may happen on Monday, 10 o'clock, but it could have a huge influence on at 3:45 or 4:45 on a Saturday. So no, we work very hard in trying to create an environment for the players. Players are very good at making excuses, so we make sure they don't have any. Because we try to create such a professional environment that they can't have any excuses. We give a lot of attention to detail on the position. That at times it can be monotonous. At times it can be demanding for the players because you can't outwit the opponent unless you know what their opponent's strengths and weaknesses are. We play Grimsby twice away. And I think they only lost 4 league games away from home. We managed to beat them 1-0 both times with a team that didn't have the same quality as Grimsby. But we knew that if we could stop Disley in midfield and we could deny him, possession-based teams, which Grimsby were, if you can deny Disley the ball, we felt that Nolan takes too many touches at times and can slow. We felt that he can be pleasing on the eye, but we felt that he takes an extra touch and can slow possession down. And if you force the play through him, then you can get very organised behind him because he does take that extra moment on the ball. And we know that they get very open and expansive, and sometimes you can allow them to have the ball, and you can sometimes. Going away scrimmaging, you've got to enjoy defending, and you defend to attack, and that's what we look to do. But no, certainly we look to force the play. Possession-based teams we look to force the play through their weaker possession-based players. and we let Masala have it, we let Cowley have it. I'm giving the Grimsby example because we know that they're not going to hurt us in possession, and if you then deny their best players the ball, their best players get frustrated. They then normally become even more open, even more expansive, and then there's normally a chance to then counter them, and that's that's a strategy we used against them. But for all the teams in this league, and the great thing for us now, we've had a year in this division. We know the league better now than we did last year. And we'll continue to learn. But no, it'd be about trying to outwit our opponent. Look for that, look for their weaknesses. Try to exploit them, but also to make sure that we try to stop them playing to their strengths.
I've got a question from a young lady next.
Just two very quick questions. Has your school agreed to release you immediately so that you can work 100% at the football club? And secondly, we've had a goalkeeping coach here for a number of years. Are you planning on bringing a goalkeeping coach in, or have you got one as part of your own coaching team?
Firstly, with regards to the school, our school have been brilliant. They've been fantastic. I've worked at the school for 15 years. Nicky's been at the school for 10. It's a great school. We managed to be State Sports School of the Year in 2013-14, which at 3,600 secondary schools was a real achievement for us. And we're going to leave with a heavy heart because we've got a fantastic relationship with the kids, and the kids at the school are just brilliant, really special to us. So now we leave with a heavy heart. I have to say the school have been brilliant. We left at lunchtime today and we didn't even have to bunk. So the head teacher was kind to let us out. He's given us Monday off, which is great for us. We would normally have to work all the way through to the middle of July. They've allowed us June the 1st, which is great for us. In the meantime, we will manage it. We manage Braintree to third in the division on a part-time basis. In the last 2 nights, when it became clear that we were taking the job, we worked through the night to make sure that we're in a good position to be able to speak to you guys today, but also in a good position to make some decisions about the playing squad going forward. Okay.
Well, we obviously had a goalkeeping coach at our previous club at Braintree. I'm respectful of the fact that obviously it's a position that you need to fill. I think it's all down to the audit that we're about to go and do to find out exactly what we've got available and who's available to bring in before we sort of answer that question any further. But yeah, it's something that's going to be important. Obviously, Paul Farman's a good keeper. I can't see from going as far into November that he's made any mistakes so far.
Have you got to watch him again? I'm just saying that.
His strengths that he keeps the ball very well, and I always like to look for different strengths before the weaknesses. But you have to be aware of both ends of the spectrum, and getting a goalkeeper coach will be very important for the management team. To do so.
Right, we've got about 5 minutes left, so there's a young man down here.
Sorry, just going back to Paul Farman, I have to say I've seen that mistake, and yeah, it's not one that you want to see again. But I was really impressed with him and the way that he came out, he took responsibility, and I like Paul Farman. I followed him on Twitter. He does a lot in the community, and I can just see he's the right type of person, and that's important for us. And I like the fact that they make mistakes, but we like him to be accountable. We like him to take responsibility. Hopefully not make the same mistake twice. But no, and what I like about him, actually you guys, tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what I see. And he seems to be one of those that's always first to put his hand up when there's community work to be done. So good on him.
Hi guys, welcome to the club.
targets or ambitions for this season, for the next coming time here in both the league and the cup?
Yeah, no, for us, we work to a sort of a four-tier system. We set our targets, so we'll have our basic targets that are musts for us, and then the targets get higher and higher, and you know, we have our dreams, and I have to say we nearly got there with Braintree with our fourth target, just come up a little bit short. For us, it will be add value. That's what we have to do first and foremost. Now, the absolute minimum will be to be in the top 10 for us. You know, I'm respectful of this league, so you always want to get 50 points. You want to do that as early as you can. We did that in February last season. The minimum will be in the top 10. It will be, you know, we finished third with a part-time club. With a much more limited budget than we have available here. We will look to, you know, our challenge will be to get in and around the playoffs. You know, that will be our challenge. But for me, it will be top 10 will be our first target. It will be then to try to make the playoffs. Obviously, the fourth target will be to try to win the league and try to get to the FA Trophy final. We all have to dream, don't we? I think if you don't have higher standards and high expectations, then you won't be successful. At the same time, it's important that we don't put unnecessary pressure on ourselves as a football club. From my point of view, I enjoy pressure. No one can put more pressure on myself than I put on myself. So no, I enjoy that, and we'll be looking to add value. You know, I say again, this is a brilliant football club. You know, I've been here a very short while, but you know, first impression, this is a fantastic football club. This really excites me. You know, this challenge for me is probably the best challenge I've ever had in football. We will add value. We will make this successful. We need you all to be part of it. You know, and when I say that, that's not just when we win. You know, we need you more than ever when the team maybe not playing well. That's when we really need you guys. And as I said, whatever happened, we've all played our part by the end of the season. We've all got a responsibility to make sure we make this successful, make this football club as successful as it should be. And it should be a football league club. There's no doubt in my mind that this football club should be a league club. And that's our challenge, isn't it? And for me, that's an exciting one. I'm sure that yours is as excited as I am. And let's make it happen.
Right, we have one more than over here.
When Daley Thompson won the gold medal for the decathlon, he had a physiotherapist with the unfortunate name of Frank Dick. And Frank Dick said to him, if you want to win the medal next time, at least high jump. And Daley said, that's no problem, boss. It's a centimetre each year and a big one on the day. Is that your philosophy?
That's another one. Good luck. Come on, if you must get Frank Dick.
I think what Frank Dick said was actually probably I like Daley Thompson's response, and I think it has to be, you know, it has to be small increments. You know, this is, you know, this journey will get stronger as the season unfolds. You look at any of the teams that Nicky and I have managed, they always get stronger as the season unfolds, and that's normally because, if I'm honest, we've been at, you know, we spent 8 years at Concord Rangers, who are a very small club. We used to lose out every time we had a successful season. We managed to have 3 promotions, and in the time we were there, we would lose a lot of our players, so we'd have to rebuild. a part-time basis. The group gets stronger as the season unfolds. So I think incremental gain will be something that we will look to have at Lincoln. You know, this is not a bad football team. November, you were second in the division, so there's the potential there. It lost its way. The team lost its way in the second half of the season. I haven't got to tell you that. You would have lived that. It's up to us to find out why, and it's up to us to then find the reasons for that. But I like David Thompson. He's someone. A little bit of time. No, I think you're right. You know, if you want sustainable success, I think that's important. That you make gradual, progressive progress. That's what we'll be looking to do.
Right, well, what we'll do now is we'll have a beer break for 15 minutes or so, and then I believe the chairman and board of directors are coming back. I don't know, are you guys coming back, or is it just the board? In that case, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our new team.
45 minutes, so hopefully you've got a few more insights into what the Cowley jobs are all about. We're over the course of the day. Get on the website, see all the stories that come in there, and but for now, that's good night from us, and no doubt you'll see another City Slickers coming straight to you, maybe a little bit sooner. I'll see if I can convince Mark to do something a bit sooner. But until then, my arm's absolutely knackered, so I'm going to say good night. Good night.